Thank you, Chairman. I just want to take this opportunity to remark on what I see as a real problem with the way judicial nominations are proceeding. As the old children's book says, something is not right, something's very wrong. The backdrop to this is a Supreme Court that has now gone 80-0 in 80 partisan 5-4 decisions in which a clearly identifiable Republican donor interest was implicated. 80-0 is a hell of a run. It's a streak and a pattern that I would be glad to take as a trial lawyer into a trial on bias and discrimination, which can often be proved by pattern. You also see the court, in a very unfortunate way, mired in dark money. The Federalist Society has a very big role in selecting judges, and it is funded by anonymous donors, dark money. When a nominee is selected, a political campaign is launched to push that nominee through the confirmation process. The Judicial Crisis Network does that, and it is funded by dark money. Indeed, individual donations have been over $17 million. I don't think it speaks well of a judicial system where people are spending $17 million to influence who gets on a court. And it's particularly bad when you don't even know who those people are. You don't know when their interests are going to come up before that court. So there are real problems, I think, surrounding the court. Its failure to adequately disclose its travel and gifts the way folks in the executive and legislative branches do, I think, is a weakness. Not being part of any ethics code, the only 9 judges in the entire federal system who aren't, I think, is a weakness and a mistake. So there's an unfortunate set of circumstances that are surrounding the Supreme Court. We also see the Federalist Society very active in trying to make sure that, I guess, what they view as appropriate candidates are put on the circuit courts, the ones where broader decisions get made than on a district court. And we see participants in that process, in the funding process behind judicial selection and nomination and confirmation, taking what I consider to be real liberties with the reputation of the court. So confident are they in how they have fixed things in their favor. It was very telling to me that the NRA group in the current New York Second Amendment case talked about the court's project to undo gun safety regulation, to undo gun laws. Just a quick question for you, Judge Brasher. Should a court have projects?
Well, as a district court judge, and if I'm fortunate enough to be confirmed Court of Appeals, I would not have projects.
No, it would be wrong to, indeed.
I would address every case that came before me fairly.
Because the most basic thing that American courts can provide is the sense to litigants when they come into the courtroom that they'll get a fair shot and that they're not going to be caught up in some court project to accomplish some larger political purpose. If you can't believe that as a litigant going into a court, then we have a real problem in the American court system. And then this has all been unfortunately facilitated by the way in which the Senate has come to treat nominations. We've gone back and forth about the blue slip, so I won't dwell on it, but it is a significant change in the traditions of the Senate. It was unilateral disarmament. Among other things, it takes away even the motive to have a seat on a circuit court associated with a state any longer. Because if the home state senator no longer has an honored blue slip, why couldn't this seat be being filled by a lawyer from Brooklyn or from San Francisco? We've actually seen what we consider to be real violations of the home state connection for seats that has been long a tradition of the Senate. We push through judges after they've been deemed unanimously unqualified. Judges who have had what I can only describe as disastrous hearings get shoved through. It really looks like there is something going on that is well beyond the ordinary selection and search for qualifications. I think we will come to regret it.
Thank you.